You're good. What agency you with?
I'm the state attorney.
Same thing. All right.
Can I have it back? Just don't run it. Don't run my card. Don't run my ID.
Huh?
Don't run my ID.
Don't run your ID?
I have no reason to.
Hey, Bob, turn that off, okay?
No, I'll keep recording, thank you. It's my right.
Don't record me, you got me? Turn it off and take it to jail.
Hey, man,
I know my rights.
I hope so. I know what the law is.
I know the law.
Cops are often seen as untrustworthy and abusing their power over those unaware of their rights. But what happens when they face off against lawyers? In this video, we'll witness some of the most cringe-worthy moments where some dumb cops get outsmarted by lawyers. From ignorance to misguided decisions, these officers discovered firsthand that lawyers are not to be messed with. Let's kick things off with our first case from North Carolina, where a lying cop didn't know that the Uber driver he pulled over was a lawyer.
What are you arresting me for? I'm sitting here in my car. I'm just recording in case anything happens. I'm surrounded by 5 police officers.
You're being a jerk.
I'm scared right now. I'm not being a jerk. I'm recording it in case anything happens.
On February 26, 2017, a criminal defense attorney in North Carolina, Jesse Bright, was driving for Uber to make some extra cash when suddenly found himself in an unexpected situation after 5 cops pulled him over for a traffic stop. The reason? Apparently one of Bright's passengers was suspected of being involved in a drug deal, and cops got a whiff of that. As the cops approached his vehicle, one of the first things Bright did was turn on his phone and started filming the whole thing.
So I'm driving Uber. And my passenger's getting arrested.
It's no secret that at times some police officers in such situations abuse their authority and bend the law as they see fit. Also, when people record their interactions with police, it helps reduce confusion if their cases end up in court, and rightfully so, as it's their right. But as soon as Bright aimed his phone in the direction of the officers, Wilmington Police Sergeant Kenneth Becker ordered him to turn off the camera and stop recording immediately. However, Bright, who was all too aware of his rights, calmly responded by saying that he was allowed to record an officer on duty and that he would continue to do so.
Hey, Bob, turn that off, okay?
No, I'll keep recording, thank you. It's my right.
Don't record me, you got me?
I will look. You're a police officer on duty. I can record you.
A little camera shy, are we, Sergeant? Wonder what he has to hide here. Not used to having his authority questioned, Sergeant Becker then approached the driver's side of the car in an attempt to intimidate Bright. He warned him that failing to turn off his camera would result in him being taken to jail, but Bright retorted by asking him which law said so. He even claimed that he was scared as he was surrounded by 5 officers, and it's only fair that he exercised his right in case anything happened. However, the officer was in no mood to listen. Realizing he won't be able to outsmart Bright in this game of law or wit, he suddenly changed his line of threats and warned him that he better hope the cops didn't find anything in his vehicle.
And if you come to this side of the vehicle,
Careful,
I can keep recording you.
Turn it off.
I can keep recording you.
Turn it off and take it to jail.
Hey, man, you turn
For recording you, I'm
Yes.
sitting in my car holding my
You're allowed to
phone.
record me.
What is the law?
Step out of the car.
What are you arresting me for? I'm sitting here in my car. I'm just recording in case anything happens. I'm surrounded by 5 police officers.
You're being a jerk.
I'm scared right now. I'm not being a jerk. I'm recording it in case anything happens.
Well, you better hope we don't find something in your car.
Bright refused to allow the officer to search his car. Becker then requested a K-9 unit, but Bright stood his ground and insisted that he was aware of his rights and that the police could bring a K-9 for all he cared for. After Becker questioned Bright's knowledge of the law, Bright revealed that he was an attorney and knew the law well, to which Becker doubled down, saying, "and an Uber driver" in a snobbish tone.
They're not searching my car
I'm going
because
to search your car.
you're not searching my car.
Subject to your kid. Roll K9 this way, please.
Bring the canines. I don't care, man.
Okay.
Like, I know my rights.
I hope so. I know what the law is.
I know the law. I'm an attorney, so I would hope I know the law.
And the Uber driver?
By then, Bright had had enough, so he volunteered to give his bar card to the sergeant. Turns out, apart from being an attorney, Bright was also working as a part-time Uber driver to pay off his law school loans. But it looks like our sergeant here is not just guilty of being dumb and having little knowledge of the law, but was arrogant too and paid no attention.
You want my bar card?
Turn on.
Guess they're bringing the canines.
Shortly afterward, an unidentified deputy strolled by Bright's car, and Bright decided to strike up a conversation. He wanted to know about the supposed new law banning him from filming the cops, and when it supposedly went into effect. The deputy responded by saying that, as a lawyer, he should already know about it, but Bright wasn't buying it and kept pressing for answers, insisting he'd never heard of such a law and also being an attorney, all too familiar with how cops scare ordinary citizens by feeding them such lies. No wonder why the officer had nothing to reply to.
Sir, can you tell me what this new law is that I'm not allowed to record?
I'm sorry?
He said that there's a law I'm not allowed to record the police. I just wanted to know what that new law is.
Well, you said you were an attorney, correct?
I am. I've never heard of this law that you're not allowed to record the police anymore. It must be brand new.
Okay, well, they just recently passed it, so...
Like super recently? Seems like a strange law.
Bright had handed over his license and registration to the cops for inspection and then went on to explain that he was driving for Uber to earn some extra cash and that he didn't know his passenger. He also confirmed that he wasn't carrying any drugs or alcohol.
Man, I showed him my way bill. I really am just driving Uber for some extra money. I don't know where these people are going to and from.
Really about 80.
Are these his?
You from the area?
Probably, they're not mine. I have nothing in my car. There's no drugs, there's no alcohol.
I didn't say you did.
Okay, well, the other officer told me he's taking me to jail, so...
Did I say that?
No, your friend said that.
Okay. My friend?
I
You
assume
mean the sergeant?
the sergeant, your friend, somebody.
Okay. This yours or his?
Probably his. Nothing is
Okay.
that's in here is mine. That's sitting right there.
The cops then informed Bright that he was being detained and started searching his car for any evidence related to the case. Setting things straight, he categorically told one of the deputies that he had nothing to do with whatever was happening with his passenger. All he was doing was driving the passenger to the location that had been typed into the app. The passenger had told him that he was a dog groomer and had to pick up his paycheck from his manager. After that, Bright had to take him back.
They still have my license, my registration.
I never know where I'm taking my passengers, man. They just type in an address, I drive them to there.
If you don't mind me asking, where'd you pick him up from?
404 Thrasher, drove him over to here. He told me he's picking up a paycheck, and I'm driving him back. Yeah. He said he works as a dog groomer, and that's his manager that pays him every week that he's going to pick it up from. Next thing I know, I'm surrounded by police.
During the encounter, one of the police officers approached Bright and asked him some questions about his job. The officers also mentioned that Bright's vehicle must have been stopped frequently because of its history, and asked if he was aware of this. Bright responded that he was not aware of anything of that sort.
Are you from the area here? You live here in Windsor?
Yeah, I live here. I work at the courthouse.
You work at the courthouse?
Yeah.
Mr. Bright.
Yes.
How long you been an Uber driver?
Mr. St. Pierre. A year and a half, 2 years
Okay.
maybe?
Have you been stopped a lot? It's probably why you've been stopped, because you're an Uber driver, right? Because there's a lot of history on the vehicle.
On this vehicle there's history?
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
Okay. All right.
The officer then returned Bright's license and registration. However, he informed Bright that a K-9 unit would soon arrive to search his car, just in case the passenger had hidden something inside the vehicle. The officer assured Bright that he would be free to leave after the search. Feeling frustrated and somewhat scared about being implicated in a drug deal, Bright made it clear that he was not involved in whatever the passenger was carrying or had dumped in the car. Fortunately, this officer was understanding and reassured Bright that he knew he was just doing his job as an Uber driver and was not a part of the drug deal.
So here's your license. We're going to wait for K9 because I don't know if he might have dumped something under the seat and you don't want us to look. So we're just going to have K9 come out and smell. And if they do an indication, if not, then you'll be on your way, okay, sir?
Okay. I mean, if he threw something under the seat, it still has nothing to do with me. Like,
Okay, but it's in your car. I'm not saying it has anything to do with you, sir. I've never said that, did I?
no,
I asked you a
I feel
simple
like
question.
someone's going to be under the car and you're going to say, I'm the driver, it's my vehicle, I'm responsible.
Negative, sir. I've never said that to you.
Okay.
Okay?
Can you understand my frustration? I'm just
Sure I
at
do.
work.
I should.
I
I,
don't-
I absolutely do.
All
Here's
right.
your registration. Just hold on a minute, okay?
Thanks, man.
All right.
A K-9 unit was eventually brought to search his car, but to Sergeant Becker's disappointment, no illegal substances were found in it. Bright was then told he was free to go. At first, he had no intention to make the video public, but after Becker refused to pick up his call and apologize for violating his rights, Bright decided to go ahead and post his video on Facebook, which ended up being viral big time. It's not hard to guess the public verdict, right? Moreover, Becker's threat of arresting Bright unintentionally made him the star of the viral video. After the video went viral, the Wilmington Police Department launched an internal investigation, which led to Becker being demoted and reassigned. Later, Bright, in an interview, said that his motive behind making the video public was to make people aware of their right to record on-duty law enforcement officers.
I didn't want to see anybody get fired or anything come of this. I really just want people to understand their right. If he's willing to just directly lie to me and tell me, this is against the law to film the police, then it worries me. Most people, when they're given an order by an officer, they don't know that it's an unlawful order.
More power to you, Bright. The police chief of Wilmington, Ralph Evangelos, also released a statement stating that taking photos and videos of the police is super important. He wanted everyone to know that these videos helped keep both the police and the public accountable, and they could be really helpful during interactions between the police and citizens. Bright may have got his justice, but this is not where this freight trains end, and we have plenty more drama coming. But before we dive in, make sure to hit the like button and show some appreciation for our efforts. On June 19, 2017, as Aramis Ayala headed home from her teaching session at Florida A&M Law School, she was pulled over by 2 Orlando police officers in Paramore. After being pulled over, she promptly handed over her license to one of the cops. After looking at her license, the cop asked her what government agency she was working for. Ayala, feeling a bit puzzled, replied that she was the state attorney.
Oh, you're good. What agency are you with?
I'm the state attorney.
Same thing. All right.
Can you imagine the shock on the officer's face after knowing Ayala's real identity? After all, it's not every day you encounter a state attorney in a traffic stop. Then he informed Ayala that they had pulled her over because her license plate was not registered to any vehicle. Being well versed with the law, the reason for the stop confused Ayala, and she immediately asked why her tag was run in the first place. The officer explained that they ran tags for various reasons, including traffic violations or checking whether cars were stolen.
Your tag didn't come back. Never seen that before. I'm sorry? Yeah. We're good now.
So it was...
We ran the tag. I've never seen it before. A Florida tag. It's never come back to anything before. So that's the reason for the stop.
What was the tag run for?
I'm sorry?
What was the tag run for?
Oh, we run tags all the time, whether it's at traffic lights and that sort of stuff. That's how we figure out if, cars are stolen and that sort of thing.
Now, Ayala was driving a state-issued vehicle, and in her capacity as a state attorney, accounted for the confidential license plates. Something the officer never could have guessed in their wildest dream. The cop then went on to add another reason for stopping her was that Ayala's windows were very dark, which made it hard for officers to see the inside of the car. But then, he tried to cover his tracks by saying that he didn't carry any tint measurer with him. By this time, Ayala knew what exactly was going on, as her grin said it all.
Also, the windows were really dark. I don't have a tint measurer, but that's another reason for the stop.
Just as any diligent citizen would do, State Attorney Ayala requested that both cops furnish their cards. But surprise, surprise, neither of them actually did, as explained by the officer, that he wasn't carrying one because the vehicle he was driving wasn't his. What are the chances? He then offered to write down their details on a piece of paper and give it to Ayala, to which she agreed.
You guys have cards on here?
Yeah, 1 second. Actually, this isn't my car, but I can write my name down if you'd like.
Yeah, he put my name on there.
What's your employee number? 157. Ready. There you are.
After the cops gave her their details, Ayala was let go. The traffic stop lasted 2 minutes and did not involve any shouting or raised voices. Still, things could have gone a lot differently, though, if Ayala wasn't the state attorney for Florida.
Have a good day.
After the body cam footage was released to the public, thousands expressed their anger in response to this video, accusing the cop of racial profiling. However, the Orlando police stated that running license plates is a routine practice that is permitted only for official business purposes. Ayala claimed that she did not break any laws, and her license plate, while confidential, was and remained properly registered, and the tint on her vehicle was in no way a violation of Florida law. Despite many asking her to sue the department, She decided to forego taking any action against the police officer involved in the incident. Instead, she expressed her wish to have a candid conversation with the chief of the Orlando Police Department regarding the matter and how incidents like these affect the community and the department. However, some days after the incident, she also posted on social media writing, "Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Tell you what, Ayala, we couldn't agree more, and props to you for taking the high road." Finishing things off, let's see a case of similar nature where an Ohio civil rights attorney found himself in an unexpected situation when confronted by two cops. On July 10th, 2021, Emmanuel Olawale was just tossing some garbage in the dumpster outside his law office in Westerville when the police showed up around. As soon as the cops approached him, Emmanuel was quick to let him know that he owned an office close by.
Hi there. Your office is here?
When asked by the cops which office was his, Emmanuel gave the name of his law firm and handed his business card to one of the cops, and then went on to dump his trash.
Okay, which office is it?
The Olawale law firm.
The what?
Here's my business card.
Okay.
While the cops checked out his business card, Emmanuel threw away the trash and headed back to his car. Maybe knowing how situations like these play out at times, he even offered them his driver's license to assure them that it was the same name as the one on his business card, and the cop would let him go without any further hassle.
All right. Huh?
Show you my ID.
If you don't mind, just so, yeah, if you don't mind, can we see your ID?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. That's a slick business card.
Yep.
All right. I'll give it to him. You can keep doing what you're doing. We're just, again, we're kind of concerned. Yeah, seeing somebody dump a bunch of stuff there.
Initially, everything appeared to be proceeding normally. However, while requesting his ID back, Emmanuel noticed that one of the officers, who still had his card, asked the other officer if he should go to their squad car to run his ID. The officer was about to run it through the system when he immediately objected and right away told the officer not to run it, stating that they had no good reason to do so.
Up there. So, all
Can I
right.
have it back? No, don't run it. Don't run my card. Don't run my ID.
Huh?
Don't run my ID.
Don't run your ID?
You have no reason to.
One of the cops informed Emmanuel that they were taking down his information because they had to report who they were out with. However, Emmanuel, being a lawyer, knew his rights and said that he was on his own property, dumping his trash and not violating any laws. He even pointed out the fact that no one had called the police, so there was no need to take down his information. But suddenly the cop made another excuse and tried to play smart by saying that the property didn't belong to Emmanuel alone. Unfortunately for him, Emmanuel wasn't having it and told them that he was aware of that fact, but he was also not violating any law. He also added that he had just identified himself so that the issue would not escalate, to which the cop retorted that Emmanuel was the one who was escalating the matter.
Well, we're going to at least mark it down. We're going to take down your information.
Nope. I'm on my property, putting trash in mine.
Okay, but this is not just your property. It's several people's property.
I understand.
Okay.
But I'm not violating any law. So don't
No
run
one
my
said that
ID.
you were violating any law.
No, don't run my ID. I'm a lawyer. I know my rights.
Okay.
I'm not violating any law. I'm on my property. There's no suspicion. No one called anybody. So don't run my ID. I only identify myself so that this won't escalate.
That's fine, but we can still mark down who we're out with, and so that's what we're going to do.
No.
Yes.
This stop me. Don't
Yes.
turn this into an issue.
Sir, you are turning this into an issue. We're just simply marking down who we're out with.
Despite Emmanuel's repeated requests not to run his ID, the cop explained pretty condescendingly that he was going to write down Emmanuel's name on a piece of paper because the officers needed to file a report on anyone they were with. When Emmanuel asked for the reason for the report, one of the cops claimed that they were concerned that he was illegally dumping trash in the dumpster. Upon hearing this, Emmanuel asked if they would like to see his office, but the officer paid no attention and continued to argue with him.
Yeah. So he's just going to write it down on a piece of paper. Yeah.
Just your name.
Why?
Because, sir, we are out with you because we were concerned that you were illegally dumping.
but you already discovered. Do you want me to show you my office?
Poor Emmanuel. The officer once again brought up the question regarding the ownership of the dumpster, to which Emmanuel told them that the dumpster belonged to him and his trash was in it. However, the cop pulled a shady move by twisting his words and asking whether Emmanuel confirmed that the dumpster belonged to him and him alone. At this point, it became apparent that Emmanuel was frustrated with the cops and clarified that the dumpster belonged to the property and all the units were allowed to throw their trash in it, something even a 12-year-old can understand.
I understand that you're here, but I don't know if this dumpster belongs to you or somebody else in the
It
complex.
belongs to me.
To you and you alone.
Yes.
Can you prove that that dumpster belongs to you and you alone?
This dumpster belongs to the property.
Okay,
and
that's
I'm dumping my stuff in there.
That's my point, though. Is that if it's also other units.
So what? It belongs to everybody. We're paying for
Okay.
it. It doesn't really matter if it belongs to all the units.
That's fine.
Just give me back my ID.
After some back and forth, the cop gave his ID back to Emmanuel without running it. By then, Emmanuel's family had also come outside. While taking back his card, Emmanuel explained to the cops that he understood the reason behind their actions, but running his ID to try and find something out of nothing, even after he had volunteered the information, was illegal. However, the dumb cop, who clearly has no understanding of the law, replied that it was not illegal at all.
Do you want your card back?
Yeah, I understand you came to check, but trying to run my ID to find anything, no, that's illegal.
That is not illegal. But okay, you can finish stumping if you like.
Thank you.
The cop forgot, or maybe never knew, that in Ohio, you are only required to provide ID if the officer reasonably suspects that you are committing, have committed, or are about to commit a crime, and there was no suspicious ground in Emmanuel's case. Emmanuel shared a post on social media, where he expressed his thoughts about the incident, suggesting that the police officers need to be trained on how to pay attention to their communicative cues. Once the matter became public, Westerville police said they were conducting an internal investigation on the matter, but both officers involved are still on active duty. But perhaps they did learn their lesson on what happens when you unlawfully mess with someone who knows the law far better than you do. That's it for today, folks. Thanks for watching this video. Please hit that like button if you haven't already, and we will catch you in the next one.